Health Matters, a local NGO dedicated to public health education, joined hands with Maplewood Senior School to address rising concerns about teenage health, focusing on nutrition and mental wellness in Wako sub-county. They provided specialized classes on nutrition, mental health, and healthy lifestyles. To support learners further, Health Matters organized peer support groups where learners could openly discuss mental health challenges in a safe and welcoming space. Additionally, a campaign was launched in the school dining hall to encourage healthier food choices. As a result, learners gained better knowledge about nutrition and mental health, showed increased participation in physical activities, adapted healthy eating habits, and helped create a supportive environment for discussing mental health. So the discussion questions were, brainstorm the role of Health Matters in Wako sub-county. And we said it is public health what? Education, yes. Part 2, discuss the importance of peer support groups in addressing mental health challenges among teenagers. And now I was telling you, all of you are peers because you're almost the same age. So you can be a leader. After we learn leadership, you learn the qualities of a leader, so you can be a leader. In case one of you has mental issues, something that is making you have stress, in that you cannot be able to. So I was talking about peer groups. Anyone can be a leader. If your friend is stressed, how will you know your friend is stressed? If you keep on abusing others. Instead of understanding them, you're abusing them. Someone steps on you, instead of waiting for them to say sorry, you abuse them. You're stressed. And you don't know what is stressing you. Your friend is here, you're trying to borrow a piece of loaf. Not the one that will be given to the DH. You know when you're given to the DH, each you have enough, right? But the extra one that you buy, now someone can borrow. If you borrow, you just say, I don't want to do it. Or you say, this is just enough for me. But now you tell them, you are not given pocket money. You shouldn't ask like that. You shouldn't. Especially, I've heard the way you say, in Swahili, sijakuja kulea mwanaume. Wewe. That is bad. That is bad. You see, that one is bad. You're already stressed. That's why we are talking about the peer counseling. If you tell them, the pocket money I was given was just little, and I usually eat this, I don't get full. If you would explain that, would you die? Would you die? No. Your work is just explaining and going. You've already explained. You don't need to go further. If they are an understanding person, they'll understand. But when you're explaining to someone, don't shout at them. You just explain, this is enough for me. That's all. You just tell them, even in that Swahili, hata hii sitashiba. Au, yes, you tell them wakati mwingine. That is so kind. But now ukimwambia hivyo, wewe ungeambiwa hivyo ungehisi vipi? Yes. Let's come back to peer group. Who's talking? Wait, can you stop talking kindly? I'm talking about how now we're in the question whereby importance of peer support groups. Peer support groups is whereby the peer support groups amongst yourself, there are leaders who can help you if you have mental health issues. As in you're mentally or psychologically you're not well. Why? Someone answering you that is not because they've been brought up wrongly. No. Sometimes it's because you're repeating what your friend said because you think it is a good thing. Others is because they have so many problems, and they're not able to deal with those issues in that they've put them in their head and they're stressing them. If, for example, you are in an accident with your father or your mother, and then or your sibling, and they passed on, you went for their funeral and you never received counseling, or no one talked to you, even the pastor never talked to you. You see, now you'll be having what? A lot of thoughts. Let's say you were given, when you came the first time, you were given a pocket money of 2,000. When you went back for afterm, you got the one for 500 because your father was sacked in a job. You know, when you come to class, you're going to be having issues. You need someone to talk to. You need your peers to support you. You share with them your issue, and they're not supposed to spread. That is why we have support. Those people, we have to choose leaders amongst yourself who cannot share your story with others. You support them by doing what? Now they have a pocket of 500 to tell them, you can be able to adjust with the 500. You will try to get love on certain days. You buy something from the canteen on certain days, but other days you won't be able to buy because now you have a lower pocket money. And then you go ahead, you tell them, because you're the peers, you're in the peer support, you tell them, 1 or 2 times I'm going also to share my bread with you. So that now you can ease their thinking. So that they can know they are not alone. Even talking, you don't even need to give them something. When you talk about your issues with someone, you feel better. Someone who's not going to share with others. So now, how here? The importance of peer support groups. What is the importance of these groups? Number one, both are beneficiaries. That is, both the helper, we call it the helper therapy. You benefit. The person who has the issue benefits, and the one who's giving the care also does what? Benefits. Because in future, in case also they have the problem, they know how to deal with it. There's also reducing stigma and isolation. I told you, if you have an issue, if you have a psychological or mental issue, you're going to tend to isolate yourself and keep quiet. You find out that someone is always alone. They walk alone. They don't want to talk to others. Yes? So it reduces that. It is because we have pure support. They'll ask them, why are you alone? Can you walk together to the DH? Are you understanding? So it is going to reduce stigma and isolation. Stigma is whereby all the people are against you. You are alone. You see, a good example is whereby when HIV came to Kenya the first time, if you were tested for HIV, it was announced like in public forum. And people were told, if you are near a person who has HIV, you're going to contact it. So all of them stop talking to you. Yes? And if you're in a school like this, a student, let's say the way you're walking and your spoon falls next to me, you tell him, keep it. You have to be very, very patient because I'm in class. Come in, come. Where are you going? You have to be very patient because we're having a lesson and you're here and I'm going to give you time. Yes, you talk. Kwa nini? Haya, watangazie.
Nimeambiwa na chapi. Ile so niko toward games ya pastoral. Baki class nikirevise. Mzeni kwa devotion yetu.
Ati class inaitwa?
Pastoral subject.
Si subject. Oh, sawa, asante. Huko mnafanya nini? It is in your syllabus. It is? Oh, ndio isoma. Is it in your syllabus? Si hata mimi nauliza. That I don't know about it. Oh, okay. We continue. So during that time, if you are, let's say you are a student, you're in this school and we are all told you have HIV/AIDS. You see when you're walking and your spoon falls next to that person, tell them keep it. Keep it. That is stigma. You're giving stigma to that person. They start eating all of a sudden and they ask you, maybe you are eating your fruit. You know you came with fruits. And then they come, they hold your mango. Oh, you have mangoes. You tell him, keep it. Keep it. That is now stigma. We continue with the answers. Can we keep quiet? Importance of peer support group. Another importance is whereby it always gives you a roadmap for others to follow. If you're helped, you always have seen your peers who have successfully, because already you're helping each other. If you see your friend was all of a sudden was isolated, but now they are well, or they had an issue and now they've changed. You see there's a roadmap. So you see this situation was successful. So you have what? A positive mindset towards it. Another importance is that you can receive it is not paid for. You can easily access it. Do you know counseling away from here you pay for it? But if you have peer support here, you don't have to pay for it. Your friends are here. Then we go to question 3. What other likely stakeholders in implementing strategies to promote healthy eating habits in school? Healthy eating habits in schools. Here we have a healthy eating habits because you're eating what? Githeri is balanced diet. In Swahili it's called makande. There's a protein there, right? The beans, yes, and there's a carbohydrate there. And then you're usually given a fruit. Can you keep quiet briefly? Can you listen? Oh my God, boys, can you listen? So, what step if we want to implement eating healthy or healthy eating habits in schools? Which stakeholders are we going to involve? And I said number 1 that we have students yourselves. We have to talk to you so that now we can have healthy eating habits in schools. You are the first stakeholder we'll involve in that project. Then we have your parents. Because if you want us to have whatever meal you want, your parents have to do what? To pay. We have to involve your parents. Number 3, we have to involve the school administration. In the end, I'm talking about the principal, yes, the deputies. We have to involve also the local farmers. Because if you want to eat, let's say what do you want to eat? You apples. We have to know whether the local farmers have what? Apples. Yes. We have also to involve another stakeholder is food suppliers. The ones who are supplying food in a school. Can you get the apples? Yes. We also have to involve the government bodies. That is the Ministry of Health. We also have to involve non-governmental, non-profit governmental organizations, non-governmental organizations. Because instead of your parents paying, also they can give us what? Grants. Instead of your parents paying, we give you the balanced diet. We also have to involve the school non-teaching staff, the NTS. Because here we are talking about the cooks. Yes? So that we can ask them, can you be able to make a pizza? Because they want to eat a pizza. Yes? Yes! We have to involve them, we ask them. They are also a stakeholder. We go to the 4th question. Establish mutual, how can school foster successful partnership with local partners? How can you successfully partner with the local people? If we have a project, how can we partner with them successfully? If you want partnership with the local people, how are we going to make sure that it is successful? How are we going to make sure that if we partner with anyone in the community, how will it be successful? Number 1, what you do is you have to have constant communication. You keep on communicating with each other so that they can understand that they are benefiting and we are doing what? We are benefiting. So we have to consistently communicate. And then you have to make public recognitions. Public recognitions is where we announce the chief has helped the school. Yes, publicly. We announce. That's how we partner well. We say so and so offered us a grant. The Kenya Commercial Bank offered us what? They offered us 1.3 million. You also have to, we have an agreement. We sign an agreement. Because you are a partner, we have to sit down. We stipulate what we need from each other and then we sign an agreement. And then both have to benefit. Oh yeah, please. Both of us have to benefit. And then we have to do the project together. We go to the second one, the community garden project. Are you there? Yes, so listen so that now I can give you the answers. We are on page 15. A group of grade 10 learners decided to create a community garden at their school with a budget of 5,000 and only 3 months to complete the project. They aim to grow fresh vegetables for the local community. The garden will also teach learners about sustainable farming practices. In consultation with the agriculture teacher, the learners planned carefully to make the best use of their resources. They needed seeds and soil to start planting, fencing to protect the garden from animals, tools for planting and maintenance, a reliable water supply and signs to educate visitors. 20 learners volunteered to work on the garden after school. Together, they prioritized buying manure and seeds, followed by fencing tools. They knew water was essential for healthy plants and planned how to access it. Finally, they set aside part of the budget for educational signage. By managing their resources wisely and working as a team, the learners created a successful community garden that benefited everyone. Discussion questions. Number 1, which resources do you think should be prioritized first in the community garden project and why? So financial resources, of course, yes? Because if we don't have the finances, yes, we don't do the what? The project. And we've been asked about resources. So the financial resources, well, because we'll be able to buy the manure, the seeds, followed by fencing. And then number 2, who are the likely stakeholders the learners can approach to successfully implementation? First, we start with the learners. We are also a stakeholder, right?
Yes.
Who are we going to approach? Teachers. And here specifically the agriculture what? Teacher. And we yes. School maintenance and ground staff. Why do we need the school ground man? Why do we need him as a stakeholder? Yes. To dig. To dig. I thought you're the ones who are supposed to dig. Are we the ones who are supposed to dig? Yes. He's supposed to show us where the tools are. Yes. He's the grounds person. He's supposed to show us where the what? The tools are. And also we need the principal. Why do we need the principal? Number 1, because he's supposed to show us where we're going to do what? To do the project. Yes? He's supposed to show us where we'll have the garden. Say that garden is for grade 10 what? 10G. We also need parents or local nurseries and businesses so that they can donate to us seeds. They have to donate to us seeds. We also need environmental NGOs. They can offer us grants. Grants, what are grants? It's just like in basic terms, it's whereby free money. Yes? Yes, money that you're not supposed. If you receive a grant to pay your school fees, you will not return it. You see the way when you go to the university, you receive help if you want. Help, you'll pay later. When you're working, immediately you're working, they attach it to your payslip every month. It's not free. But if you're a break student, that's what I'm telling you here, you read. Because so that the university can be easier for you. If you're a break student, there are over 20 grants in every university, which are free. They fully pay your school fees, and they can also pay for your maintenance for free. As long as you're a smart student, where? Here. They're there. So those are grants. You don't have to repay. They just give for what? For free. Then from there, we go to, yes, number 3? Yes.
Can you say the vegetables and fruits?
Yes, of course. Because if we get the seedlings and they're not good, you see, they won't help us. Very good. That's a good stakeholder. How can you involve local community in these projects beyond just providing resources? How can you involve the local community? How can you involve the local community? Yes? Yes, we can do the project with them. Yes, we can do the project with them, right? Sorry? Yes, we can trade with them. Because remember, we are going to do the project and we'll get the fruits, right? Who are we going to sell to? This is the community. Yes, of course. Very good. Given that they had 3 months, how would you plan out the tasks? Because they had 3 months. How would you plan the tasks? What do you think we should do? The first month, what did we say? If we are doing a project, we said the first month is we research, right? We research. We research about everything. Where the principal will give us lunch, the tools that are available, yes? The stakeholders first, we are just researching. And then now we plan. We plan that by the end of the first month, we are going to get the what? The seedlings from this NGO. After we plan, the second month we'll be communicating to what? To the stakeholders, yes? Everyone involved, we communicate. And then we show benefits to them. Still in the second what? The second month, the stakeholders. And then we execute on the what? The third month, right? That is what you should do, according to me. What is the significance of such a project? The day-to-day life. Significance just means what is the importance, yes? Here, what were we doing? We were creating a community garden at the school. Yes? So what is the importance, yes? Yes, very good. Improves food security. It encourages teamwork because we have to work all of us. Yes.
It equips us with some skills.
Yes, it equips us. Yes, with some skills. Yes. Yes, knowledge in planting. Yes, deepen understanding by connecting theory with practice. Very good. Clap for all of them. One clap. You know, let me tell you, when you hear about agriculture, don't have a negative mentality about it. Do you know the best businesses are agriculture? If you're doing agribusiness, they are the wealthiest people. You just have to know what you're doing. So from there, we continue. We are supposed to